Welcome to the August 4th meeting of Parks and Recreation Commission. Let's begin by approval of the minutes from our July 21st, 2015 meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. First item on the docket, resolution number 30475, considering board approval for agreement with Kansas City Curling Club.
Yes, Commissioners, you have a memo in your packet from NARO regarding the fourth annual Bonspiel
Yes.
Curling event at Line Creek Community Center. What's it all about?
Yes, we are now on to our fourth annual, and so the Kansas City Curling Club, which is makes their home up at Line Creek Community Center. During their downtime, they do this annual event in which they invite other curling clubs to come and join them for the weekend. We do this agreement that allows them to rent out a large portion of the space over the weekend and also bring in their own concessions. Well, actually, more specifically, they bring in food and drink, but not for sale. As part of the rental agreement, it is to the individuals that are part of the event itself. And so, right here in the memo, we've listed out that it'd be to kick off August 7th, 8th, and 9th. And, well, I'm presenting it here to the board for your approval. And or questions right now.
Is it open to the public?
Yeah, can we go?
No, actually, it is set in place for their curling club. If we did open up to the public, then they would have to probably take concessions as tickets, sell tickets in order for people to come in.
Okay, great.
So.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I think it's good. I think it's grown every year, too.
Yes, it does.
So.
They're starting to get individuals come up from the Great Lakes area now, and
Wow.
and so it's becoming bigger, and people want to come to Kansas City.
Great, cool.
Glad to have them.
Okay. Do I hear a motion on resolution number 30475?
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, on the, I think the next items number 3 through 9, resolutions number 30476 through 30482 will take as one vote. Mark?
I know Terry wants to add a little more to this.
Sure.
And good afternoon, Commissioners. This is, these are actually all of our Club KC contracts and our Mayor's Night Hoops and Mayor's Night Kicks contracts. We used to pay the vendor to pay the police, and now we're paying the police department directly. So there was a savings on all of these contracts for that. 2 of the contracts actually go up, but that's because we added to their scope once we had an open night of activity. So Arts Tech and Casey Hoops are helping us with Saturday night activities at Brush Creek.
So all in all, for the year, is the budget the same? Or
All in all,
some
for the
other?
year, the budget is the same and looks like we're going to save we're going to be a little under what we were last year
Okay,
for
that's
security
what it looked
overall.
like with it.
Well, looking at this, it looks like there's a reduction in the cost of the law enforcement of about, what, 22,000?
Not quite.
Not quite?
Not quite. We think it'll be down about 8,000
About
when
8?
it's all said and done, but we don't have the, we don't have all of their cost in yet.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, we take it out and then we pay
We'll
it
put it back
directly
in.
to the police department through a journal voucher.
Okay. Okay, I would entertain a motion for approval of resolutions number 30476 through 30482.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Resolution number 30483, board approval for an agreement with the Missouri Department of Conservation.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an event that we've been working with the MDC since 2006, and it's been a very successful program. Forrest had to head downtown to another meeting, and Terry can answer any questions you have. The memo does indicate that we're doing this at 8 locations right now.
Yeah, 8 locations, a little over 1,000 hunters, or a little over 1,100 hunters have been permitted, and a little over 1,000 deer have been harvested. So some hunters weren't successful. But all kidding aside, this is a program that we're recognized around the state and around the country, that we have a successful program in an urban area. And it definitely has helped reduce some of the downsides of an overdeer population.
That's great.
Any further questions?
No, it's a good program.
Yeah, I'm glad we have it.
Do I hear a motion for approval of resolution number 30483?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Resolution number 30484, considering board approval of agreement with MoDOT for Cliff Drive, Spirit of Kansas City Scenic Byways.
Yes, Commissioners, this is an agreement with the Missouri Highway Transportation Department for the construction of this trail as indicated in the memo from Travis. Richard is here today to answer any questions you might have. But, as you can see, it's allow us to build and maintain a trail on their property. So it's our project, and we're working with MoDOT, and Richard's here to answer any questions.
Yeah, Richard, basically, this has been a plan where we've changed the routing back and forth a couple of times, and we're back closer to the original.
That is correct. It's just to connect Cliff Drive over to the Spirit of Kansas City. And then the key piece of this is to provide a safe, grade-separated crossing under the I-29, I-35 area by the railroad tracks. And so we will be on a piece of MoDOT right-of-way, and then so that they do it through these license agreements versus transfer of property. And so that will allow us to move forward with the project.
What is the estimated timeline on this project? It says that the design is complete, so if this was approved, well, when it's approved?
The most critical, the timeline is plans are at MoDOT for review right now.
Sure.
Once they review the plans, they'll give us concurrence to bid the project. And then, so that could occur this fall. And then after we bid the project, we'll have to secure all the funding to go ahead and go into construction, and then construction would go into 2017. It'd be completed in 2016. But we still are a little short on funding and on this project, and then we are going after funds through PIAC. So.
Okay, any further questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion for approval of resolution number 30484?
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Resolution number 30485, considering board approval for agreement with Kansas City Terminal Railway Company.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a companion resolution from the prior one, this case with KC Terminal Railway, as opposed to MoDOT, but similar purpose, similar project, and Richard again is here if you have any questions.
This is the same location roughly?
This is the same location, just a little bit further north, and it's on the south side of the railroad tracks. And so it's a small piece, and again, the railroad doesn't transfer properties, and we do it through these cooperative agreements with them.
Sure.
Okay.
That's all I had, yeah. This is great.
Hear a motion for approval of resolution number 30485.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. Resolution number 30486, considering board approval of change order number 2 with Mega Industries for Minor Park Connection Trail.
Again, Richard is here. This is a pretty important change order, I think, Richard, isn't it, to
Yes.
complete this project?
Yes, it is. And then just to let you know this is a neat project. It's a little over a mile in length of trail. Connects Alex George Lake to Minor Park by the tennis courts. We've had a lot of rain from May up till this time, so that adds 28 days to the project. And then also it adds some drainage inlets by the tennis courts, and then also by the entrance Minor Park that will help keep the area next to the trail dry. And so project is moving along great, and this is one of the projects that we'll be talking about on the construction highlights. But this is adding 28 days, and then it's for 2 drain inlets.
Okay.
Any further questions? Hearing none, I entertain a motion for approval of resolution number 30486.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Director's report.
Well, and there's the segue that Richard set up there for you. So, Minor Park Trail, huh, Richard?
Again, is just to kind of give you a little bit of, you have this exhibit in front of you, but Minor Park Connector Trail is along the Blue River from Alex George Lake to Minor Park Tennis Courts. What does it do is we have 5.6 miles of trail on the ground right now from State Line Road to Alex George Lake. This will add about another mile to that, so we'll have 6.6 miles of trail. And then the first photo on the photo one is it's north of Red Bridge, and you're looking north towards Alex George Lake. And so you can see that it's going to be a nice scenic trail. The photo two is in the same area, but we're looking back towards Red Bridge. And this shows an area that the sub-base is in, that's formed and ready to be poured. And then as you move over to photo three, shows a section of trail that has been poured. And hopefully, if weather goes well this week, is by the end of this week or next week, all the concrete will be done on this trail.
Oh, wow.
Photo four shows a loader doing some backfilling along the trail. And as you move over to photo five, that shows a section of trail that has been backfilled. And then photo six shows just an example when they stop pouring at a certain section along the trail. That's they call it a construction joint, and so they put connections when you pour the next section of trail the next day. But this trail should be done by the middle of September. I think it'd be a good candidate to do a dedication for maybe in October. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
So is this then a terminus at the lake?
No.
Tell me where this mile fits in the whole, in all of them.
Okay, so right now is you have Indian Creek Trail.
Right.
That starts state line,
Uh-huh.
and then it ends at the confluence of the Blue River, which
Okay,
is
okay.
essentially close to Bannister and the Indian Creek. And then
Okay.
you would go south, and you would go under 435. You would go through 103rd Street Athletic Complex.
Yep.
And then the trail, there's a spur that goes over to Alex George Lake.
Okay.
And that was the terminus point before.
Oh, so then this takes you further west?
And this will take you further south to Minor Park.
Okay,
And then long-range plans would be to take it all the way to Martin City. And then the next piece, if you could take it to Martha Truman Road, that would be the Grandview,
Right.
City of Grandview connector. And
Right.
so I think there's a lot of opportunities.
cool.
Okay.
Fantastic.
My dad used to take me fishing at Alex George Lake.
Well, we'll use this as another segue for Heidi's report, because this would be the trail that would take you to the Red Bridge Bridge, is
Yes.
that correct?
Lock
So-
your love.
So if you wanted to walk to the bridge and lock your love, this is how you would get there.
You could take
My
a
question was gonna be-
6.6 mile walk to the
Yes,
bridge.
and then terminate it at the bridge.
Yeah, that makes,
Yeah.
might give you too much time
We're
to
not
change your
in
mind.
February, and oh, right, exactly. We're done.
Would then have a dedication, is that what you said, Richard? Okay.
Yes, we talked about doing maybe early October.
Let's do it.
What do you want to do?
Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah,
October.
okay. Great. Well, we are busy putting together the fall and winter program guide with the Recreation Division so we can get all those programs up and out and promoted. Going to schedule another kind of Discover Day as we did in last spring to kick off and kind of open the community centers and have open houses to showcase the facilities and the programming. And that's going to be sometime probably in late September. Mid to late September. This week, this Friday, we have the First Friday exhibit from the artworks that were created during the Big Picnic Quit Paint Contest. So there'll be about 20 pieces of art on display at MWE, which is down in the Crossroads. That was the sponsor's facility. So we invite you to come by between 4:30 and 7. You can even maybe purchase some artwork. There's some beautiful pieces that were created in a short period of time. Those artists never cease to amaze me. Then we have the following weekend, the summer concert at the Kansas City Museum, and then the next morning, I do believe they're going and removing the sign from the museum. Hopefully, there won't be a torrential downpour in the storm like there was in last time they were planning to do that. And then that evening is Rock the Block, which is, the mayor's big end of the summer kind of bash. I think these are on your calendar, but I wanted to mention that the opening remarks and the welcome from him are at 5 p.m., and he invites you all to be there on stage with him. And then the next weekend, we get, of course, into the Ethnic Enrichment Festival right here across the way. You'll start to notice it, the world being built right there across the street in the next, I think, week or so. So that, as always, you're invited to the opening, which is the Parade of Flags, on that Saturday at 4 o'clock. So Melinda will be here at the next meeting to give you your passes and your parking passes and your tickets to make sure you can get in and up there on stage on time. And then, of course, we get into the fall with our dog swimming parties. We have our other big plein air event at the Brush Creek Art Walk. If you see our June social media numbers, June was our biggest month ever with visits to our website, so we are just growing in leaps and bounds. And then the same thing with social media. We're adding quite a few followers on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram every month. So I'm happy to introduce Brad Pearson. You may recognize him. He was Cindy Serko's Mayor Pro Tem's legislative aide, and he has moved over here to help out with park permits. So, super excited.
Perfect, welcome.
So he's been here 2 days now, and he's just trying to figure out what we do. But we're still trying to do that, too. So, that's all I have.
I just want to commend you on the record, Heidi. This has been an amazing year. 2015 has seen the social media piece, the marketing piece, all the great activities around town. I mean, every time I go to one of these, there's more and more people, and the buzz around the events is great. So kudos to you and all you've done for this.
Thank you. We have a great group of people who help make that happen. Appreciate it. Okay, thanks.
Perfect.
Well, I'm going to add one more thing. Kansas City, Missouri Parks and Recreation Department is up for a gold award at the annual convention of National Recreation and Parks Association. And everybody give us your best wishes and hope that we can bring something back that we can really be proud of. But even if we don't bring it back, we're going to be proud of the fact that we're a finalist for the second time in 4 years.
That's awesome.
So I wanted to just add that because we don't brag enough about ourselves and about our staff. So thank you all very much.
Commissioner, when is that convention? When will you guys go up for that?
The 14th through the 17th or 18th of
Yeah,
September.
it's,
Excellent.
mid-September.
Public comment? No, nothing? Okay. Calendar review, we've done.
Done most of it, yeah. Our next board meeting, of course, is here in 2 weeks on the 18th. Platte County Park Partners on the 12th, Liberty Memorial Board meeting on the 13th. And then Heidi touched on the events on the 15th at the breakfast is at 9, sign comes down at 10:30, is that correct? Okay. And then Rock the Block, of course. And then mentioned Starlight, Amber, I believe that's the
Yes.
time when they do their meeting in the evening instead of the morning, is that correct? Along
Right.
with the center stage, which is the
Young professionals.
young patrons of Starlight.
Right.
And then, of course, we talked about the Ethnic Festival.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session to discuss legal matters, litigation, and privileged communication with our attorneys pursuant to revised statute, section 610.021, sub 1.
I second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're in closed session. Thank you all very much for coming.